everybody, what's going on? Thanks for checking out this episode 3 of the Hey Coach video series. So if you're wondering why I changed my ensemble here, I actually just got done fishing with John Gorman of Team Gorman, really respected coach and awesome guy. We talked shop for hours, just about everything nutrition coaching, business related to protocols we run with our clients. A lot of awesome topics came up. Now, as we were talking, something that he was very interested about was the diet break process. That's something that I want to bring to you guys today, is the diet break process. I made a video about diet breaks probably like 2 years ago, and I've been utilizing them ever since. Now, I know they're starting to catch on now, but what I want to do, something a little bit different, is actually tell you about a case study that I personally experienced with one of my clients after working with her for multiple years in a row. Give me 1 second. Upon speaking with John, I brought up this topic and he thought it was very interesting, so I figured I would share it with you guys, my fam, my peeps, my coaches, my people who want to learn more information. So here's the truth. We have to first start out by defining what a diet break is. So in my opinion, the definition of a diet break would be to adjust calories back to perceived maintenance at the time the client is in caloric restriction. All right. Now keep in mind that throughout the whole dieting process, we have metabolic adaptations that occur, and we are trying our best to avoid those adaptations from occurring. So what do? We increase calories up to perceived maintenance at that time. Now, the perceived maintenance is different than the maintenance when you started because we have the adaptation. So why do we do this? We do this in an effort to avoid a lot of the negative physiological effects that occur, such as reduced leptin, increases in ghrelin, reduced thyroid, and reduced metabolic rate. But in doing so, we can also have a positive outcome by decreasing stress and increasing training performance. So that, in my opinion, is what a diet break is, and these should be ran for anywhere from, I've had success with 5-day diet breaks, 10-day diet breaks, and even up to 2-week, 3-week diet breaks, even up to a month-long diet break. I've seen success in my clientele over the last 2 to 3 years. So, is there something to be said for diet breaks? Absolutely. Are they helpful tools to have in your back pocket whenever you need to pull them out and use them? I think they absolutely are. Now, we're going to talk about a case study that I brought up to John, and we're just going to go through some of the details of the case study with you guys right now. So, one question that I got from one of my clients the other day on my Facebook Live was this, plain simple to the point. Do diet breaks help to negate some of the negative physiological effects that happen during a fat loss phase? So to answer your question in short, the answer to that's going to be yes. But now what I want to do is venture farther, and I want to give you guys the details of a case study that I ran. So in 2016, I was super excited to work with a new client. She was a professional natural figure competitor, phenomenal athlete. When we started her contest prep, she was maybe 18 weeks out. She only had about 18 pounds to lose, and we started her prep. She was maintaining body weight at about 2,000 calories per day. Now, we dieted her down utilizing a normal fat loss approach. Carb cycling, including 1 to 2 high carbohydrate days a week in an effort to increase leptin levels so that therefore we could then continue to lose fat over the course of time. The only time she really stalled out was maybe 4 to 6 weeks before the scheduled show, in which time we had to get relatively aggressive. But also during that time, we started at 2,000 calories and we had to take her down to about 1,300 for her to get lean. Now, we did not use any diet breaks, no maintenance resets, none of that during that whole fat loss phase, and it was 18 weeks long. At the end of the competition prep, she got extremely lean, placed very well in her show. I believe she had a top 4, and then she was top 2 in another show. Now, what we did after the show is she basically went back up to eating at maintenance, maintained that optimized metabolism, and the following year she came back to me and wanted to prep again. So now we have the same figure professional who is again 18 weeks out, again maintaining at about 2,000 calories, And the only difference is I told myself I want to utilize some diet breaks because I have the previous experience from the previous year. Let's really dive in and let's see how these diet breaks can actually change the outcome of the prep. So we start out with very similar caloric adjustments to the beginning. We're carb cycling with 2 high days per week, but every 4 to 6 weeks, whenever we started to feel resistance, we'd use a diet break. Defining diet break, resetting calories to perceived maintenance at the time. Okay, so we reset her calories and in most cases cut her cardio in half. The positives of taking these breaks is that for one, it allows the client the ability to foresee the future after the show because now they're gaining a better ability to be able to have more control over their metabolism when the competition preparation is over. So they know how to reset after the show's over. So this can, in my opinion, help a lot of people avoid a lot of binging. So we used a diet break every 4 to 6 weeks or whenever we felt like we needed to. And at the end of her competition season, she was able to reach a very similar level of leanness, maintain a bit more muscle mass, and we only had to take her calories down. I believe the lowest we got was between 1,400 and 1,450 calories. So that's very fascinating information because if you compare it to the year before, one would think due to metabolic adaptation and due to your body remembering what it was like to prep before, she would have had to get more aggressive. But we were actually able to have her at least 100 calories higher at the end of her competition prep than we did the year previous, and she reached the same level of condition. The only difference was that we used the diet breaks. I do feel like diet breaks can do that. And I also think they place you, the athlete, male or female, in a better position to hold more muscle mass during your competition prep or during your fat loss phase in general. Now, in the big picture of things, like the big view, it's only helping set them up for what to do after the competition is over because now they know I'm in control of my metabolism and all I have to do is readjust, just like we took all the diet breaks during the prep. I just readjust my calories up, and if I can maintain that for maybe 4 or so weeks, we can then see how their body's responding, and in most cases we can increase calories over that duration of time, keeping them much leaner than they were at the beginning of their prep. If you guys want a real world example of this, go to my Instagram and check out my post about my client Zoe. Zoe's a phenomenal athlete, but I did a pre-prep, a show day, and post-prep, and we utilized diet breaks throughout that time. There's a few images on my Instagram that go into detail a bit more about that process. If you guys are interested, feel free to check those out if you want a visual. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I hope it helps some of you new coaches in an effort to be more aware and more in control of your client's metabolism and set them up for future success. This is the Hey Coach video series, question number 3, and we are out.